Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Welcome, welcome. If you don't already know, my name is Eli with Pokemon USA. Tuesdays and Thursdays are our Q&A session days. So sorry I didn't post a video. I said it was because I was catching up on work stuff, but if I'm being completely honest, I have a couple of things. One, I am coming down with something, so I am getting sick. I don't know how long this one's gonna be because my throat is burning like a mother fricker. So it's gonna hurt to talk today, but I wanted to make sure that I at least had a live stream since we haven't had, you know, a full day of video in a while. So that is one of the reasons why I did have a lot of things that I was playing catch up at, but it wasn't the entire story. I feel like crap, so that's another thing to take into consideration. But jumping into it, let's give a couple of shout out to those that are here so far. Tommy's Top Picks, Shadowless Tony, Taylor Adams, Trainer Yang, Squid Booty, it is Marcus Draper, FedEx, the company themselves are in the building. Shout out to UPS. I prefer them. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you give me discounted rates, FedEx. I'm here for it. Take care of yourself, he says. Eli's in the building. Woo woo. Yes, sir. But yeah, so hoping we're going to have a good stream. Obviously, not a topic of discussion today because we didn't have a previous video. So it'll be interesting to see what we're going to be discussing today. And that's another thing, too. If you guys have any suggestions for video ideas, it would be very, very nice if you guys have any for me. So, because Lord knows I could use some help for what to have a conversation about, because there's not really much going on these days. It's kind of dry when it comes to news topics. So would definitely love your guys' opinions on what's a good conversational topic that you want me to discuss. But outside of that, yeah, let's just jump into it. I guess we might as well take a look and see what the current market is showing us on the TCG player side of things when we're going on the trending list, or the best selling, I should call it. Man, it's so funny how different it is on the mobile versus online what it shows. So, you know, Silver Tempest packs, ladies and gentlemen, Silver Tempest packs are pushing $4. Isn't that insane? Isn't that kind of crazy that we are pushing $4 for Silver Tempest? I mean, obviously, Evolving Skies, it took a little bit of a drop off from the overall high, but did it really though? Because it's $7.19, right, per pack. Like, packs for that are expensive. Packs for Silver Tempest are expensive. Lost Origin's a little bit cheaper. Lost Origin at that $324 price point. Astral Radiance still at around, I mean, let's see what the price of Astral really is. $314. Isn't that weird to think? Like, when you look at Lost Origin packs and you look at Silver Tempest when you look at Lost Origin packs and you look at Astral Radiance packs, they're around the same price. But then when you look at Silver Tempest, it's even more expensive than Brilliant Stars. So it's like, it's weird, especially when comparing it to the booster boxes, how Lost Origin is probably going to pass Silver Tempest in booster box pricing. Shocker? I say not. Topic idea, waifu stonks, waifu filter, TCG needs a... Well, I mean, speaking of waifus, let's see if we can pull up PokeBeach and see if they have the most recent images for the new Clara promo that just got revealed. So, if you guys don't know, the Clara and Cyrus boxes, we knew what the Cyrus box was going to look like, but here's the Clara box promo. So, get ready for that. That is going to be coming out March, was it 17th is when it said it was going to be coming out? Sometime in March. I can't remember the exact date on when it's going to be coming out, but yeah, so for all you waifus, right there, baby. Silver Tempest OP, I 100% agree, man. I talked about this saying basically, hey guys, Silver Tempest, why does my face look so like cropped in and out of the frame? Maybe you need to show my face a little bit more. This is better. I was telling people, man, I said Silver Tempest was my kind of sleeper set, which I felt like was going to perform better than Lost Origin, than Astral Radiance, like, and it was quite simple to me. It was Lugia. That's about as good as it gets. So for Silver Tempest to get to a point where the packs are much more expensive than either of those sets, and it's going to pass Lost Origin and booster box pricing, doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So it just totally makes sense. A good conversation starter. What is the mystery product that has altars in it? Oh my gosh. Who knows, man? Who knows? Is it worth doing box breaks? I ask a ton of vintage WotC trying to make the best money opening sealed booster boxes or cases. Probably not. I would say doing box breaks are very difficult to sell unless you have the market for it. And by market, I mean like you have people that are able to sell it for you. Because if you're going to go on your own and you're going to try and sell it to people, hey guys, who wants to buy all these packs with me? Like, it's going to be a very tough sell to be able to get people that are going to want to buy into it just on your own. So unless you have someone that you know you can make money off of it by selling it at enough of a margin after the fee they charge. I know some people that do that, but it's just kind of a difficult sell, I would say. I think it's going to be number 3 or number 4. I've been really wondering where Lost Origin is going to be ranked after Sword and Shield is over. Ooh, that's a good question. Lost Origin, I mean, are we talking about booster box sets or non-booster box sets? You know what I mean? Because I feel like when we look at the rankings, obviously it's going to be Crown Zenith, it's going to be Evolving Skies, it's going to be Celebrations. Those are going to be your 3. Then you're going to have Brilliant. Then you're probably going to have Lost Origin. So that's kind of where I would say it's going to be, personally speaking. I noticed the first print run of Evolving Skies ETBs had the rule books and new ones don't have it and not displayed on ETB. Interesting. Did not know that. Babe Cakes, what's up, Babe Cakes? Do you know if older trainer cards are still allowed in standard format with Yeah, no, it totally is. So you can, as long as it is a card that is in the current standard rotation, it does not matter if you're using an older print version of the card or a newer print. It has, as long as it has the same effect, you can use it. So it's only cards that are not in standard rotation. So Quick Balls, if you have older Quick Balls, you can use them. Yo, you've officially committed to CZ at number 1. I mean, I would have to say that it's a really hard argument not to put ZZ at number 1 when comparing it to everything else. I mean, what is it about Evolving that we love so much, right? It's got Rayquaza, it's got the evolutions. Like, it's a great set in terms of what it overall brings to the table for that specific reason. Sorry. And then you go to the Galarian Gallery and you look at what it has in the set overall. For the Galarian Gallery, it has a Giratina, it has an Arceus, it's got a Mewtwo, Dialga Palkia, it's got a Leafeon, a Glaceon, Suicune, Darkrai. I mean, the reason why I think this set is so good is because of its diversity as a set overall. So you've got Cynthia in the set as well. You've got Colress, you've got Irida, you've got just so many different full art alternate art trainers. You've got so many different alternate arts in the set as well, and then you just have so many different character rares in the set as well. So the thing is I love Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies is an amazing set, don't get me wrong, but I think that this set takes the cake just because it's bringing everything to the table, right? And you know, it's hilarious to say this, but Evolving Skies is a victim of its time, which is such a funny statement considering of how good of a set it is. There's no argument that was ever made like that before until now, because Evolving Skies and Fusion were the last 2 sets before they reintroduced the character rare subset, right? And Evolving Skies was still considered to be one of the best sets in the Sword and Shield era because of that. It still is one of the best sets, obviously, right? Like, that's not changed at all. It's an amazing set, it's an incredible set, still one of the best sets of all time. However, it did not have character rares, and so it was able to be all the new sets that had character rares until now, because the set that has literally just about everything except for a Charizard in it, Crown Zenith, has a lot of value, in my personal opinion, due to its wide array of diversity. I mean, think about it. What does Evolving Skies have? It has alternate arts, which are awesome, amazing, great, that carry the set, and that's it. What does Crown Zenith have? It has alternate arts, it has full art alternate art trainer designs, it has character rares, it has radiant cards, it has like so many different card designs, right? And that's what I feel as if really makes this set just kind of shine. Not to mention too, what's something that they got rid of in this set that a lot of people don't really care about, character rares, or sorry, not character rares, full art and rainbows. No one cares about either of those things, and that is something that was made up for by having much better card arts in here. So I mean, there's just so many cool things to see in this set overall. Who's the GOAT, Eli? Are you asking me is the question? Or are you saying who's the GOAT, comma, Eli? What's up, Tyrone? Hopefully you're doing well. What's up, CJ? How you doing today, Eli? Am I doing good today? I would say I'm doing all right. I woke up a little later than I would have liked because I feel kind of sick and my throat kind of burns. So we're gonna run this as long as I can until my throat starts to hurt too much to talk. So, but I'm here for you guys because that's what I'm all about. Just trying to provide the content since I didn't have a video yesterday. With the new full art, do you think the Clara box will be better holding than the Cyrus long term? I'm gonna have an argument to be said that more than likely yes, just based off the fact that, you know, the waifu value, that just makes the most sense to me. I'll be interested to see what the pack selection is. That's what I'm honestly waiting for before I give my full opinion. What's your opinion on picking up rainbow rare singles since they won't be printed anymore? That's actually a solid question. There's a lot of definitely rainbow rare Pokemon cards that are arguably undervalued, considering that if you go back and look at all of the Sun and Moon era, the cards that are popping off the most right now in value are the alternate art designs, and as well as in the Sword and Shield era. So I think there's definitely an argument to be made that it's worth picking some of them up. You just have to pick up the right ones. What pack coming? Exactly, we don't know yet. Do you think Hidden Fates will pick up in price in the next year or continue flatlining? Really comes down to where the market is, honestly. And by the market, I mean the economy. Because I mean, right now with the way Pokemon is, it's hard for me not to say that in the next year or two, Hidden Fates won't pick up. And that's my expectation. But if the economy and you see more stagnation in the economy continue, and you see a negative quarter, several negative quarters of GDP growth, it could arguably be something where you see Hidden Fates kind of flatline a little bit. I think CZ does have better diversity, but ES has much higher highs at the top. Yeah, but the thing is, Narwhal, do you value something that is an amazing set because it has higher highs or because of the card value? Because I would argue it has nothing to do with the card value itself, because a set could be amazing like Hidden Fates, for example, and it could be printed into the ground, and then all of a sudden the card values are crap. That has nothing to do with the fact that less people enjoy the set. It has to do with the fact of the matter that there's just more supply. I mean, Crown Zenith is a set that just came out. Evolving Skies is a set that's been out for a while now. Not to mention, too, when you look at the pull rates for Crown Zenith, they're a lot higher pull rates than Evolving Skies when it comes to getting all these alternate arts. So there's just a lot of different factors that you have to take into consideration. It's kind of like Celebrations, right? I'm not a big fan of Celebrations in terms of opening. I mean, it's cool first couple of packs, but then after a while it gets kind of old. But it's the celebration of the set overall that really kind of takes the cake and what makes it a good set. CZ and Celebrations are much more fun to open. Yeah, no, for sure. Zacian is a great card. The newer Pokemon just don't resonate as much with me. I wonder if cards of these newer legendaries will become more popular as kids grow up. Yep, nostalgia. Just kind of nostalgia. I mean, think about Giratina. Giratina is a card in Lost Origin that is, I mean, making the set perform pretty well. I mean, when you really think about it, obviously you've got the Chunkachu and the subset slot, but outside of that, it's like, or the trainer gallery slot, but it's like, that's not carrying the set, you know? Giratina's adding value, Aerodactyls adding value, like, it's a thing, man. It's happening. Gen 4 is nostalgic. You can consign sale booster boxes with TCA Gaming. There you go. Open 5 cases of Crown Zenith ETBs and 8 cases of Crown Zenith Reggie boxes. Set is amazing. You're consistently profitable selling singles and keeping what you want. Single price longevity. I mean, single price longevity, short term is going to be crap. Long term, it'll probably do fine. Yeah, I feel like we're talking apples to oranges here. ES is the top set, the standard set with booster boxes, and CZ is a specialty set. 100%. I 100% agree with exactly what Roma is saying. It's like I said before, it's a victim of its time, or an unfair comparison to make, because the two are so vastly different in what they bring to the table. That's cool and all, but how to get rich quick. So there's this thing called money laundering. No, I'm just kidding. But over or under 1,950 different Pokemon when Pokemon celebrates its 50th anniversary. So let's see. A new Pokemon game comes out roughly, I want to say, every, God, 3 years, more or less. And if we're at, I mean, how many Pokemon are there in existence? How many Pokemon are there? There are 1,000 Pokemon. Oh, I'm taking the hard under on that one. Yeah, for sure. I mean, no question about it. Big under, big under. Pokemon's been around for 25 years, and the first time they announced Pokemon, it was 151. And subsequently, every new set that comes out has less and less Pokemon, or every new generation that comes out has less and less Pokemon. So I think unless you're saying that from now on, over the next 25 years, they're going to have like more than 100 Pokemon, it's just a hard sell for me, you know. Can we have a discussion about when you will start franchising? Have experience with franchise? I mean, franchising Pokemon, Pokemon USA, or franchising E4? That's the question. What am I franchising to begin with, you know? But that's kind of a funny question. Yeah, and I'm not even talking dollar value. I just think the arts in the Pokemon on the top of ES are better than what the top of CZ. That's a fair argument, 100%. I think that is a totally fair argument to make because, I mean, let's be honest. Moonbreon's iconic, and when you look at the art designs of the cards in this set, I think the Moonbreon just blows everything away. Nothing comes even close. Do I think a lot of these art designs are amazing? They're super cool. Do I love the introduction of the trainer arts? Alternate arts, I love it. I love it. I think Cynthia's Ambition, this design for the card is awesome. But yeah, Moonbreon, I mean, Moonbreon's a piece of artwork that you can't really touch. So yep. I think CZ is just way more enjoyable than ES. Yeah, well, it's especially more enjoyable now when the price to open is so much more affordable and for what you can get out of it, you know? But getting a lot of mid-tier hits is way more fun than getting nothing 90% of the pack. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to try my best to mute my mic because, like I said before, I apologize, guys. Let's go. What's up, Marcus Parkus? Thank you so much for stopping by. CJCH, what are your thoughts on holding PSA 10 promos? Specifically, the Japanese Arceus pre-order promo and the Scarlet and Violet pre-order promos. I mean, promos themselves, specifically Japanese promos, have shown to do well. However, the Arceus promo, I mean, it's kind of interesting to ask that general question. And maybe I look at this in a different limelight because it's not specifically a Japanese exclusive because we have an English printed version, so I don't look at it as highly. But, I mean, for the most part, I would say that the promos that are unique to Japan are the ones that are going to hold stronger just based off of what we've seen historically speaking. I think that it's awesome art designs, like they're really cool, but I can't really say I predict them to be extremely strong holds. Lost Origin, Silver Tempest in the long term. Silver Tempest, 10 out of 10, no question about it. I mean, it's such a simple pick just because Lugia. I mean, I like Lost Origin as a set better, but it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what, you know, Gen 1 and Gen 2 fans like, which is the history of Pokemon, Lugia, Rayquaza. Well, Rayquaza's Gen 3, but you know what I mean. Like the strong characters from each generation. And the nostalgic characters. Charizard, Lugia, Rayquaza. Those are the first three. What does Silver Tempest have? Rayquaza, Lugia. Boom. You just took two of the most popular characters, rolled into one set. Everything else is crap, but that doesn't matter. Aside from Q&As, how often do people question you directly through DMs? Oh my god. Well, it depends, Marcus. Are we talking about for the wholesale program, or are we talking about for just in general? I woke up this morning to, thankfully, not a ton of messages. Only about 15. So I would say on average, though, it's about 20 to 30 messages I wake up to in a day. I get about 100 plus messages in a day. On average. So it's a lot. A lot of it is, however, from the Discord program for the wholesale. I would say 80% of that is the wholesale program. The other 20% is, hey, Eli, let me sell you something. Hey, Eli, I have something I want to offer you. Hey, Eli, I have a question. That's about 20% of it. Mewtwo, best artwork in CZ. I don't know what the best artwork is. It's kind of hard for me to say. Sorry. Dancing Genesect is the best art. That's so funny. Koga agrees. What's up, Koga? Thanks for stopping by. How does wholesale membership work on Patreon? I know it's currently sold out. Just curious. How it works out is you pay the fee and then you get access to our allocation list. which shows you what product we have from our current 4 distributors. And then you just basically pick which product you want that you buy at wholesale. You pay whatever the shipping and fees are to have it be shipped from distro to me and me to you. And that's about as simple as it gets. It's a pretty simple program. So the idea of it is basically you're paying the fee for my time, and then it's almost as if you have access to a distributor yourself. And for most people that don't know this, in order to get a distributor, you need a local game store. Most local game stores obviously are going to cost you $2,000 to $3,000 rent minimum. Like, that's if you're lucky. Most of it's going to be way more than that. So you're getting the opportunity to have access to distro pricing for, you know, what's going to be $75. So right now it's $50. People are saying it's undervaluing. I said 75. People still think it's undervalued. So, but I wanted to at least give an opportunity to throw up some $75 tiers just for people to have, because I don't want to just completely scale it. But I'm going to throw out 25 tiers of 75, see how it does, and we'll kind of evaluate. If it slowly sells, then I'll just keep it at 75 and maybe add some more tiers in the future. But if it sells out really quick, then I'll have to reevaluate, because right now, I mean, the demand for the set's insane. I at least get 3 to 4 messages a day asking me about the wholesale program, which you might not think is insane, but when before it sold out with 0 people messaging me, and now I have people messaging me, and whenever a slot like opens up, it automatically fills within 2 minutes. Like, it's insane. Like, we had one slot open up 2 days ago, it filled in 2 minutes, like straight up. Like, oh look, someone left the program because their thing didn't auto renew. 2 minutes later, click, someone's in the program. Like, it just sells out so fast because you're getting product at wholesale. Like, that, you can't compete with that, especially for the price. So plus you have access to other product, which I'm considering how I want to scale that, just because from a shipping perspective, I do not know Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh product that well. So sometimes when someone orders something and I'm trying to find out, all right, what is this product? And I'm shipping it to who again? I need to familiarize myself with that. But I'm excited because we're getting Lorcana in August though. And that's going to be a really fun one. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to cough because I'm sick. Man, you keep saying the right things, Tyrone. You're a smart guy. That's funny. Regardless of promos, look at the stain burns from hidden fates. 10 plus a card. I think Lucario and Gold Star Greninja will follow similar trajectory. No, 100% I agree. I think that there's always a play in promos. I think that, you know, does that necessarily mean... I mean, I would love to look more at the history of promo values. That's all I can say. Because when it comes to promos, I do think there's value in promos. But at the same exact time, there's value in most Pokemon, right? It's a hard argument to say that most Pokemon aren't going to at least hold some sense of value. I think one that's more important to kind of closely monitor, in my opinion. Apparently, I have for some reason 2 TCG players up now, but it's the Charizard V. I mean, look at the Charizard V. You guys remember this card? When I was talking about it a while ago, I still have quite a bit of them that I want to send in for Beckett and see what the possibility of getting a Beckett 10 is with them. But anyway, value of this card has done nothing but go sideways, basically. It's a Charizard, it's a promo, hasn't really done much. Cool card though, cool card. But yeah, I mean the value, it's maybe gone up $1 from the low, like $5 I think was the low at some point. So but yeah, I mean, but are you appreciating this card because of the art, or are you appreciating this card because of the Pokemon itself, right? I mean, like kind of what Roma Sheets was saying, when you look at Hidden Fates and you look at the Glass Stained Birds, I mean, the card itself is gorgeous. I don't think it's actually going to pull up here because it is a promo card. Moltres and Moltres and excuse me, I said Moltres and thank you very much. But yeah, the value of this card, I mean, this card, I think the cheapest we've seen it, I mean, what I would say it was around $7-8, right? Maybe $6 at one point at the low. So I mean, it's doubled in value, so the promo's done well. If we look at it on a yearly perspective, it went down to $7.14, but it was at one point like $1 cheaper than that. And then boom, look where it is. So definitely value, Marcus Parkus says, can I join your wholesale program for 500k a month? Yeah, I'll take that. 500k a month. Yeah, if you were to just give me $500,000 a month, yeah, I'd let you in the program for sure. I think it will sell instantly. I would tend to agree with that, Tori. A real note, do you support people from Canada from the wholesale program? I do, but I want to make this very, very clear. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. With the wholesale program, unless you're spending around like, and it depends on the product you're getting, but unless you're really spending around $150, $200 plus a month on Pokemon product, then it's a very hard justification, specifically if you don't live in the US, because we had one customer in particular who bought a top loader case and a sleeve case, which, if you don't know, those are heavy boxes, like 13 to 17 pounds. So 30 pounds for both those items, shipping to Canada. So 30 pounds for 2 boxes, it's a pretty expensive ship. The value of the items themselves are like $110, right? So when you're saying to yourself that the ship cost is going to be more than 50% of the value, then obviously you're like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. But the reason why was because they're extremely, extremely heavy products. Extremely heavy, right? So if you're someone that's just buying ETBs, you're just buying booster boxes, you're buying loose packs, and you're buying them in quantities, then obviously it's worth it if you're sending them in or you're purchasing in bulk. But if you're just buying a couple of things here and there, and then they're heavy items, then it's gonna not be as worth it if you're only buying them in few quantities. If they're heavy items and you're buying them in large quantities, then yeah, it could be worth it. But you just have to understand the value when it comes to that, because like I said before, 30 pounds for a product that's worth only $110 in total value, that is heavy, heavy, heavy. I mean, one booster box is going to weigh 1.5 pounds. 2 ETBs, 3 ETBs are maybe going to weigh like 5 pounds. So like, for 3 ETBs. So it's like, that's a lot for something that's so cheap. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, we do offer it to Canada, but you're gonna obviously have to pay for the shipping to Canada. So you have to make sure that's worth it, and you're buying enough. Crown Zenith might have the best pull rates in history, no cap. Ooh, wow. Here we go. He's saying it. What's up, Agent Crypto? Hello. How are we? Out of curiosity, are you a UFC fan at all? Crazy fight coming up. I historically have been a UFC fan. I don't follow it as actively as I do now. So my parents actually were one of the first people to put on a fight event. So they put on, or I should say a fight expo is what I should call it. And who would have guessed it? The fight expo was called Fight Expo. So my parents were one of the first people to ever help put one on. This was during the time of the UFC just kind of becoming prevalent. They put on a UFC event, or not a UFC event, but they put on an event for just, you know, UFC enthusiasts, dirt biker enthusiasts, yada, yada, yada. We had Gina Carano there. We had Bruce Buffer. We had Channing Tatum. We had a couple of other famous fighters and actors and et cetera, people show up for the event. So I kind of grew up around that scene. I did MMA competitively for 6 years. So specifically like jiu-jitsu. That was something that was big for me, Brazilian. And so like I grew up kind of in that scene, but as I've gotten older, I haven't really followed it as much. I kind of fell out, I would say. Like, I don't know, I feel like the sport itself, like I still have a lot of like love for UFC and everything, but I just don't follow it really that much. Like every so often, like I really liked watching some of the title fights with like Ronda Rousey, or, you know, I didn't mind watching Conor McGregor, but like outside of that, it's really hard for me to say that I'm actively watching like it and keeping up with it quite like I used to when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, I used to love watching, you know, Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture, and a couple of the other fighters. That was something I really enjoyed when I was a kid. Love the burn. Wait, I only have to spend 150 for it to be worth it? I thought it was like 1K FML. No, God, no. I mean, like I said before, obviously, if you don't live in the US, that barrier is going to be higher based off of how heavy the product is you're purchasing. But, I mean, here's the deal you have to think. The minimum to feel like you're at least breaking even on it is like 150, 200. But obviously, the more you spend, the more you get out of it. So like Zapdos was saying, 500 is a good amount to spend to feel like you're getting a real solid value. Anything above that, you're getting an even crazier value, right? Because let's just make an argument, right? Let's say that you're getting some ETBs. And what's a good ETB example we can say? Let's say Lost Origin, right? Let's say, and these recently sold out, so these are not available at the moment. But let's just, for the sake of the argument, right? Lost Origin Elite Trainer boxes. So they are selling for around, that's the Pokemon Center exclusive. Where's the regular? They're selling for roughly around $41, $45. At one point, you were able to buy them, and not that long ago, for $250 a case. $250 for 4.5 minus 250, right? You're getting $164 in value. So if you were to spend $250, minus that from the fee, which is $50, minus that from whatever it's going to cost to ship and handling, we'll just say conservatively, we'll add another $30. You're getting about $84 worth of value off of your first chests. Now, after that, you no longer have to include the general wholesale fee. So we'll say 114.5, add that on, minus 30, which is what I said to be conservative for ship and everything. You're now getting $169 worth of value, and then keep adding that up every single time. You keep adding it up every single time. So like the value in which you're getting out of it is going to consistently go up, obviously, the more that you spend each and every time. So you're going to get like $300 or $400 worth of value. This is just purely off of an ETB example. Now the value thereof is going to be greater for some product over others. For example, I used this example the other day. We had Silver Tempest packs that were selling for $2.51 a piece, right? Let's say you bought 500 of those. Actually, that's a lot. Let's say you bought 250 of those, right? It's going to cost you $627, right? 250 bucks, $2.51. If you look at the current market value, as we just explained, that is going to cost you, and we'll add $50 for the $50 for the tier, and then we'll add, I don't know, probably like $12 to ship for that many packs. Not too much. And that's the thing about loose packs, is you're going to get more out of it because they're just so much cheaper to ship, right? $6.89, right? $6.89. Now, what's the market? $4 times 250. $1,000. You're getting $310 worth of value out of that alone. So, I mean, like, there's so much opportunity for value across the board. But yeah, I mean, the value's there, and the more you spend, the more value you're going to obviously get out of it. And that's just going off of market. Some people obviously are able to sell above market. Some people are able to sell above market without fees. Some people are able to sell at market with fees. You have to really just be able to get creative. I've got guys that spend tens of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis, and they're making a crap ton of money because they're selling mystery packs, or they're breaking it down for breaks, or they're doing it for whatnot streams. Like, there's so many different things that I know of that people are getting creative of. And I even ask people questions like, how are you doing this? How are you selling so much so quickly? And then they tell me what they're doing. I'm like, wow, that's pretty creative. So there's so many different ways to get really creative with it. It depends on what you're buying. Basically, if you're able to save more than $57 on stuff, it's worth it. Exactly. That's exactly what you have to say to yourself. So obviously, if we showed the example with the ETBs, you're getting well over that $50 worth of value. So that's where, you know, 250, noise. But technically 200, 150 is what you really need to get. But that's like break even. So 250, you're making value. 500, good value. 1,000, great value. Anything above that, it's just like, oh my God, holy crap, I can make a full-time business out of this, which is what some people do. Okay, so following up, do you know what a case of Crown Zenith ETBs would have cost me as a buyer through your wholesale program? To clarify, in theory, if it was available, it would have cost you $30. However, with that being said, we started the program after pre-orders for Crown Zenith, and so we didn't have the opportunity to order Crown Zenith product. So we sadly didn't offer that, but Scarlet and Violet is now the next set, which we put up pre-orders for, which we should have allocation numbers for that in the next week, I should say. But yeah, hypothetically, if it was available, it would have been $30, which I'm bummed we missed it for the ETBs, because I would have loved to have given everyone that option. But when you just got distributors from opening up a game store and you open up the program, and then literally shortly after you open up the program, you miss the deadline, because with distro, you have to order product by a certain time. and for holy crap, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Give me a sec. With distro, you have to order the product by a certain time because they put in allocation with the Pokemon company. So how it works is the Pokemon company allocates product to distributors. Distributors allocate product to retailers, and then for this program, I allocate a product to you guys. So it's just a chain of allocations. But yeah, so you have allocation deadlines. Do you think Hidden Fates will go to $200 in a couple years for the ETB? I presume you're asking. Yeah, I'd be stunned if it didn't in the next at least 2 to 3 years. What up? What up? How we doing, Baganon? Do you think Pikachu VV ETB will be more collectible in the future, even though this set isn't as tough as the others? Yeah, 100%. No question about it. Yeah, I think it'll do really well just because it's one of the only sets that it is the only set that has a Pikachu as the main chase, and it has Pikachu on the ETB design. I think it'll do really well. That Expo sounds insane. I've got about 9 months of BJJ experience, but some decent striking experience, so I'm wanting some amateur fighting eventually. You ever compete in BJJ tournaments? Yeah, that's exclusively what I competed in. It was BJJ and grappling tournaments. So I went to I've fought at Grappler's Quest, which was a huge tournament that they put on over in the Northeast. I competed in New Jersey. I also competed in one in Las Vegas. I did a lot of traveling for Las Vegas tournaments. I competed in some regional tournaments, as well as some regional Brazilian tournaments. I still have my medals around here somewhere, but I would say overall, my first 4 years was training for tournaments, and then after that, my last 2 years was getting more into MMA fighting as I got older. But yeah, I trained when I was a kid, so I was really, really young when I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I competed in tournaments up until I was about 12, then took a break because we moved from California to Oregon, and then I got into MMA and just kind of was trying to get more, I don't want to say this, spread my overall fighting expertise, I guess the best way to put it, because before it was all ground game, so I wanted to get a stand-up. And so that's when I got back into it again when I was 14, stopped when I was about 16. So yeah, I did it for, a lot. I did it for quite a bit too. So, but yeah, no, I had a lot of fun doing it when I was a kid. I had a lot of fun competing. But yeah, I would say I competed in probably 7 tournaments. I medaled in most of them. There's only maybe 2 of them I didn't medal in. I know, and this hurts to say this, but I only got first in one of them. I got second in most of them because we would always travel and compete as a team. And there was this one guy who I'd always compete with. And basically he was one of the best guys in the gym. And he had been training for 3 more years than I did. And he was slightly older. But him and I were in the same weight class, right? And he, like I said before, he was older and had much more experience than I did. So whenever we compete in tournaments, ironically enough, we would always find ourselves in the finals and he would kick my butt. And it was the most frustrating thing ever because I would beat everyone and then make it to the finals. And then I'd fight against him and then he'd silver me. Till one day we had a regional tournament that we put on at our own gym and he got knocked out by someone out of the tournament in the semis. And I made it to the finals. And I beat the guy that beat him, and so the only way I could have gotten gold was by having someone else beat him for me. So that felt really good. I was really ecstatic about that. So But yeah, I've got a couple silver medals. I've got the 1 gold. I think I have a bronze somewhere too, but yeah, that's a pretty cool story from when I was a kid competing. So the one time I finally beat him was when he got knocked out by someone else. So but yeah, no, God, it's memory lane. That's all I can really say with that. What's up, Necro? How we doing? Hopefully all is well with you. John Samos, do you have any more Scarlet and Violet booster box available on the allocation list? No. So basically, so you know how it works for allocations is when you join the program, you can put in orders before the allocation deadline. If you've missed the deadline, I can only offer you any sort of leftover product we have, which, considering product is extremely scarce at this moment in time, there's more than likely not going to be any leftover product because it's all going to be allocated out, and any additional product is going to be given out to those currently in the program. So typically speaking, like in terms of Scarlet and Violet, you've got a pretty low chance of getting Scarlet and Violet product, but at the same time, when I started the program, you had a pretty low chance of getting Crown Zenith, and then if you were in the program for a month and you built up your spend, then you had a pretty high chance of getting Scarlet and Violet. So don't be like, oh no, I missed out of Scarlet and Violet, it's not worth it anymore. Well, guess what? Guess what set comes up after Scarlet and Violet? 151. So don't think of it as a, oh, I missed out. Think of it as a, there's going to be another amazing set that's going to come up, and you're going to want to get in so you can increase your spend, so you can get allocated more. Because allocations goes off of spend, how much you spend in the program. That's just how it works. So if, let's say, you're someone that wants a case of booster boxes, right? And you spend, let's say, $500 on a monthly basis. As long as I get allocated enough product, then odds are you're more than likely going to get that case, right? But if you're someone that doesn't buy product whatsoever until it's time for pre-orders, and you ask for 4 cases of Pokemon product, well, if you're not spending any product and you're not spending any money, then odds are you're probably going to get the same amount as the guy that asked for less, if not any at all, because you didn't spend a dime, which in turn didn't help towards me getting product. Because in order for me to get product from the distribution, I have to spend money. So for those that spend money, it's easier for them, obviously, to get product. And the thing is, too, like, it's not even a favoritism thing either, because people spend more, because it doesn't matter. It's usually scalable, right? It's only a favoritism in regards to you spend as much as you're trying to get out of it, right? So if you're someone that's, let's say, wants 100 booster boxes, right? You better be spending enough on a monthly basis that's going to equate to you getting that much out of it, right? Because that's about $10,000. So you better be spending at least $5,000+ on a monthly basis to get that amount, right? If you're wanting only a case, like $500 a month, that's kind of what you're really getting out of it. Think about it in this regard. If you're trying to get X amount of product, just multiply how much it's worth, and then think of that is kind of what you're generally spending in Pokemon product, I would say, every 2 months. That's usually the best way to kind of look at it. So, and that's just kind of is how it is at the end of the day, that, you know, distro just sets it up that way. So, you know, if you want 3 or 4 cases for a new set release, you're probably going to have to spend $1,000 a month. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, just from the way in which the program works. Which, I mean, if you do the math, 3 or 4 cases is going to run you a couple $1,000 to begin with. So you're basically spending as much as you're trying to get out of it, if that makes sense. ETBs with terrible art from terrible sets have done very well in the past. Yep. Exactly, Narwhal. He gets it. Is $45 a good price for a Crown Zenith? Found online, $45 free shipping. Be careful. That's a really good deal as this moment in time. So you got to ask yourself, where is it from? Do you ship to Poland? Like I said before, Mateus, we ship anywhere. But once again, because shipping is so much more expensive to you guys, you have to consider spending more to make it worth it. I already gave the example earlier. I won't give it again, but that's just kind of how it is. Hey, appreciate you smashing the like button, Jordan. Yeah, make sure to leave a like and comment down below, guys. Enjoy the content. And hit that subscribe button. As another follow-up, what would the Scarlet and Violet ETBs cost as a wholesale through your program? Booster boxes, $95.50. ETBs are $31.50. But we don't sell it as individual ETBs. We have to sell in case counts. just because there's certain minimums with distributors that you can buy, and it just makes more sense to sell it as a case count for that reason. And then 2, it's also just much easier for shipping, right? So you're spending $573 for a case of booster boxes, and you're spending $312.50. One thing you have to take in consideration now more than ever, in my opinion, ETBs are a great value because they added 2 more packs and they also added promos to it. So ETBs have actually gone up in value, in my personal opinion, equivalently. I would argue that booster boxes have lost a lot more value compared to ETBs. Because booster boxes, obviously, they went up in value in terms of like how much, they went up in terms of how much they cost, but there isn't anything additionally that was added to them to kind of like balance out. Versus with ETBs, you're no longer getting 8 packs, you're getting 10 and a promo. So the value's there. You're basically not seeing a real effect from a inflationary perspective, because before with specialty ETBs, you got 10 packs and a promo. That was $30. Now every ETB is going to get 10 packs and a promo, and it's going to be $31.25. So realistically, it only went up about $1.25 if you consider what the old wholesale was. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I think the value is very much there more for ETBs now than ever. So booster boxes really got gypped the most, if you want to take that into consideration, because oh look, yeah, you've got better pull rates for like holographic cards, because there's now going to be, I think, 3 holographic cards is what they said in a pack. But that's in a pack. That is not specific to booster boxes, you know. Looking forward to weekly spends, weekly specials and deals. Yeah, that's another thing as well. This is active to the public, so I won't get in trouble for sharing this. But if you're interested in seeing some of the things that we offer for the program, you can always go to Magazine Exchange's weekly specials deal, and you can see some of the prices we have for certain products. Because that is something, obviously this is specifically to them. There is other places that will have better deals, but this is just one of our distributors and what they're kind of offering. You know, Lost Origin, $15.99 per. So if you do the math, 15, so we'll say $16 to make it safe. Divided by 6 packs, you're paying $2.66 for a Lost Origin pack. Astral Radiance, Brilliant Star, and this is a freaking whatever. No one cares about this, but $250 for Fusion, $300 for Pokemon Go, $80 for an Ultra Premium, but it also comes with some of these free premium things. No one cares about this. This is a crappy deal. If you're into Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, they always have consistent deals as well. But this is just one of the kind of examples of some of the product we have. But that's only the public deals. And some of the deals are okay. Specifically this week, they're not really the best. We've had some killer deals in the past, but yeah, on MagX right now, it's whatever. As it stands, I should say, it's whatever. Side note, I feel like we should be paying for your knowledge. I appreciate that. Well, you can always feel free to send me a super like or a super chat. So I always appreciate it when people send money, because I do this for free. I am not asking for money whatsoever for this. Obviously, in terms of the Discord bot, I will at some point have to pay or have to charge people money for it. Just because the content you'll be able to get out of it. We technically do have a paid position, but what you're really getting out of it is you're guaranteeing a spot for it, and then also as well, whenever a new spot in the wholesale program opens up, you're one of the first people to get pinged for it. But I'm for the actual like program itself, I want to drop the price down to like $5 when I have the chance and we get to the actual live for it, because I think that if we have at least enough people in it, it's gonna be more than worth it for the content that we're going to be putting out when it comes to the investment bot. So I guess that's tools, but in terms of what I'm doing and like giving out to people, yeah, I mean, it's entirely free. When you gonna offer us plebs without distro pricings and when I have the product available? And so Enrique, I will be bringing back So I didn't do breaks for Crown Zenith because I've said this before, I'll say it again. When we opened the game store, we had to allocate all the Crown Zenith product from... So, my business partner and I have an agreement. There are certain distributors that we have, and the newest distributor, a part of the agreement was... Or, sorry, our oldest distributor that we have, part of the agreement was allocation for Crown Zenith would go to the store. All new distributors, which we acquired, that product would be obtainable for myself. So, Crown Zenith was the first set where I didn't do a break because I didn't have access to the product because it went to the store. I then got 2 or 3 more distributors, and then now Crown Zenith has passed. Scarlet and Violet is up next. I've built up allocations with those distributors. I will be getting product to now have breaks again. So we're going to be doing an opening break for Scarlet and Violet, so don't worry, we'll bring that back. In terms of like sealed product, I have no clue what that's going to look like because we're still relatively new with these distributors, so it comes down to how many I'm going to be able to get. Because here's how it kind of works with distribution, right? So we've been open with our distributors for the past month and a half, I want to say. They do everything based on a 6-month rolling period. So they look at your 6-month spend and they say, how much have you guys spent over the past 6 months? We're going to allocate you X amount based off of that spend, right? So for myself, although I'm going to get a good amount of product for Scarlet and Violet, I'm not fully maximizing the amount of product I can get because we've only been with them for a month and a half, right? So ideally, I would like to get 600 booster boxes to 1,000 booster boxes, but I'm probably going to only get like 200-ish, give or take, right? And that just really comes down to the fact of we are, you know, trying our hardest to spend as much as we can, but there isn't the product there to really get to that 6-month spend over time, right? And there isn't the time for it yet. So 151, for example, when that set comes out, we're going to already have hit our 6-month point. So the amount of product we're going to be able to get for 151 is we're probably going to get filled on everything we ask for. And that just really comes down to, at that point, the set comes out for us in July. It is currently February. We've been basically open with our distros since late December or early January. So let's say it'll be about 2 months, mid-February. So 2 months, then March, April, May, June. We'll hit that 6-month period. Come July, oh, boom, we've been up for 6 months. We've spent X amount of money. Now we're going to get a ton of 151 product. Just kind of how it works. So, which I'm excited for because Scarlet and Violet, all that product will go towards to our spend as well. And so having it be, which it's a good set, don't get me wrong, it looks great. But having it be that once you hit your 6-month point, the next set after that is going to be 151 is extremely exciting for the program because we're going to be able to get so much more of that. And I would like to argue that although Scarlet and Violet, it's going to be nice to get some of the product and we're not going to get as much as we like, I'd much rather it be this than having it be the new specialty set come out and we're not going to get as much as that if it were the other way around, like which set came out first, you know? So that's what I'm most excited about, is looking at it from a long-term play perspective. Do you drink energy drinks? No, I do not. I only drink water. That's all I drink. Occasionally I'll have milkshakes, but that's like occasionally, or smoothies. But yeah, I've never been buzzed from alcohol. I've had like a sip of alcohol, but I've never been buzzed. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink soda. Don't drink anything other than water. So, can we still order? Already answered that question. I miss competing in sports. It was fun. Yeah, I know. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I moved to Arizona, was to try and see how far I could go with volleyball. And then that groin injury happened and I just got focused on work and that kind of got put to the side. But I'm going to start going back to the gym pretty soon here, hopefully, so I can get healed up 100% and start playing again. How can I sign up for the program? Already answered that question. I like I said before, we ship anywhere. Mateus, program is currently sold out. You'll have to wait for when we open our next 25 spots. What's up, John Doe? Good to see you as always, brother. Appreciate you. I'm working and listening. That's my boy. Average player, always good to see you as well. Hey, Eli, any possibility of buying more Special Horizon? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not 100% certain. I would have to... Modern Horizon. I can... do I want to quickly check right now? I mean... Here, it shouldn't be that hard. I just look up Modern Horizon. Modern Horizon. Is there any available? There is Modern Horizon 2 draft boxes, there is set boxes, and there is sleeve draft. So yeah, they've got some Modern Horizon. So don't know if the pack price is, or the box price is good or not, but it looks like we do have some. And if you want to just message me after, we can talk about that. I'm spending around $300 monthly on Pokemon products. It's hard, man. If you live in Poland, it's a hard argument to say to only spend $300, if I'm being honest, just because you're so far from the US. If you were in the US, then yeah, totally worth it, $300. But when you're not inside the US, I mean, even with Canada, I would say Canada being closest, you at least have to spend $500. So living in Poland, you're gonna have to at least spend $1,000 to really make it worth it, or maybe $750. So that's just the kind of the sad reality of it. But if you're in the States, you can spend as cheap as $200, $250 to get value out of it. What's a good price target to selling Hidden Fates? It seems like $150 has been for the longest time. I mean, considering it's a set that's out of print, personally, it's a set that I would just play long term and just see where the real price spike hits. Because it wouldn't surprise me if at some point price spikes $300, $400 for Hidden Fates. I mean, I argue it's extremely undervalued, and once it hits that spike, it's going to go crazy. What's up, Patrick? Good afternoon, Eli. What's your submission of choice? You seem like a MC kind of guy. Ooh, what's my submission of choice? I would say arm bars were kind of my classic. I loved arm bars a lot. I loved arm bars. I really like triangles, I would say. I liked Americanas slash Kimuras. Those were probably my 3 favorite. I would say though, in order from what I submitted the most, it was probably arm bars, bar none. So many arm bars. I freaking love arm bars. Sorry, I just got really passionate about arm bars. I didn't really get a ton of triangles, but they were one of my favorite ones to get. Triangles are just, they're such a good feeling when you choke someone out with their own arm. It's so funny to me. So, but yeah, I'm really good at, like, I shouldn't say I'm really good, like, because who's not good at rear naked chokeholds? But it was also satisfying to get a rear naked. But yeah, arm bars are my signature. So, and I was really good at, like, putting you in an armbar position anywhere. Like, that's what I loved about it. Like, I was going for arm bars in all different positions. Like, anything I could do to armbar you, I was going for it. Violet PC ETB for 65, including tax, a solid deal. Probably not. I think you're getting way... I mean, it's the... Oh, wait, it's the PC ETB? How many packs is the PC ETB? Here, let's go to the Pokemon Center and look. Elite Trainer Box. Elite Trainer Box. But, okay, so it's $60, not $65. And it comes with 11 packs? Ooh, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like a good deal. I mean, obviously you're collecting it for... I mean, how do I want to say this? The old price was $50 and you got 10 packs out of it. This one, you're getting one more pack and you're paying so much more. Like, sure, it's going to have a collectability aspect to it, but the pack value is just, I don't know, man. I mean, sure, you can say you're getting 2 promos out of it, which is, you know, I mean, it's whatever. But like, man, I mean, the specialty ETBs, like, I think they'll be a decent investment, don't get me wrong, but I feel like with the value that you're getting out of the standard ETBs, having 10 packs now instead of 8, and you get a promo, it kind of blows this out of the water, honestly. It makes it really hard for me to not say otherwise, you know? Here, let's look at Scarlet and Violet. Violet Elite Trainer Box. Just double checking, making sure that I'm not saying it wrong. It includes 9 packs. I thought it included 10. Am I dumb? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It only includes 9. I thought it included 10. Am I silly? Am I silly that it only includes 9? I could have sworn. I mean, hypothetically, even if you say it includes 9 over 10, I still would make the same argument because you're still at least getting additional value with it. because the price went from $25 to for on average an ETB to $31.25 for wholesale. You're paying an extra $4 for the pack plus the promo, or an additional $3 for the pack, $3 for the promo. However you want to look at it, the value is still there. It's obviously only 9 instead of 10, but this, on the other hand, went up by $10 more for 2 more packs. Sure, you get 2 more promos, so I guess it's scalable. I guess. Oh, that's such a hard thing to say. Well, I look at it at least a little bit differently. It's not as terrible. I mean, you're still gonna pick it up, but I mean, it's hard for me not to start loving these specialties, or the standards over the specialties now, just because I feel like I'm getting so much more value for it, you know? But maybe that's because I'm looking at it from a wholesale perspective, you know? That's what I would say. When is this program? How can I join? That seems like a crazy deal. It's sold out right now, but it will be hopefully available relatively soon here. I am still trying. We have a new system we just implemented. There's a couple of things that I am adding to the program to make just kind of it more streamlined, and we're going to be training an employee on that. Once we have kind of been steadily at that for the next couple of weeks, then I'll probably drop it, I'll say. But that's kind of where we are. I want to make another order, but wait to see how allocations are filled for Scarlet Violet. Yeah, and that's kind of where we are right now, Wrath. I mean, if you look at the new order sheet, because you can see everyone else's orders without their identification, obviously. We're pretty much in limbo where everyone's just waiting for Scarlet and Violet pre-orders because everyone's saving their money to see what they got, you know? If we were part of the program, is it shipping per box? What happens if I get 5 cases? Am I paying $150 for ship, 34 or 30 for the everything entirely? Marcus, you are paying, I love you too, Marcus. You're paying whatever it is for shipping cost, right? So what I would say is that if you're paying like $250 for a booster box, and let's say you live in like New York, then yeah, you're gonna be paying like $30 for shipping. But if you live in like California, you're only paying like 15 to 20 at most for shipping for ETBs. So you have to factor that in, because you have to think about it this way, guys, right? With the program, I am paying wholesale for you guys. That means every single thing that I sell to you guys, I'm making $0. So if I cover shipping, I lose money. So how I do this is I have a discount shipping account that gives you guys discounted rates, and whatever those discounted rates are to ship to you is what you're going to charge. I've so far had not a single complaint about the price for it because it's relatively cheap. Like, we had one guy that spent over, Lord knows, $10,000 in Pokemon product, and they ended up spending about $170 in shipping, like, for $10,000 of Pokemon product, right? And so I think you can, like, for 2 cases, if you're, let's say, buying 2 cases, it's probably going to cost you $30, $34 to ship for ETBs. And for booster boxes, it's going to cost you, like, anywhere between $8 to $11 if you live over in the Southwest to, like, Midwest. It only gets more expensive if you live in Florida or, like, New York or New Jersey. But we have one guy in particular who lives in Florida who spends like tens of thousands of dollars with us, and sure, it's a little bit more, but for like for how good of a price he's getting everything, it's like it doesn't even affect him whatsoever. It just feels even sweeter, obviously, if you live in a place closer to us. So, but that's just kind of how it is. But yeah, so $150 for shipping. Yeah, I mean, that's really tough to say, unless, because let's say you live over in New York, right? It's gonna cost you for $150 of shipping. You're probably ordering at least 6 to 8 cases of Elite Trainer boxes, which, if you're saying 8 cases of Elite Trainer boxes times 2.5, that's $2,500 worth of value. So, and that's ETBs, right? Booster boxes are a completely different freaking monster. Because ETBs are just, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's a discounted shipping rate with me or not. ETBs are bigger, they're clunkier, they have less pack value. So booster boxes are obviously much more efficient to ship. Booster bundles are more efficient to ship. Sleeve boosters are more efficient to ship. ETBs, there's quote unquote better general margins when selling them, but that's not including the ship, you know? So, but I mean, you know, $150 for something that you're getting $2,500 worth of value, you're gonna eat it, but it's not gonna affect you as much as you may think, right? Because you're saying 2,500 plus 150, you divide that by 80, because that's how many you're getting in a case. It's gonna add about another $2 per booster box, so, or Elite Trainer box. So it's not like, oh my gosh, instead of paying exactly wholesale, I'm only paying $2 more now. Like, you know what I mean? $2 above wholesale. That's still well above, or still well below MSRP, you know. Any word on the end of February reprint? No word, no information. I've gotten zero new information, and it is at this point where I've talked to my individual about it, where he more than likely, and he already told me this before, but I'll just reiterate this. We're now more than likely under the interpretation that since we haven't heard any new information, that it's more than likely actually going to be in April. And here's my rationale. Because when he told me, oh, it's a he, I leaked it. When he told me that it was early March, late February, that kind of was suspicious to me. He's a trusted source. I know I can trust him. But it was suspicious to me because when it comes to the Pokemon Company, when do they love to do reprints? When a new set comes out and they love to do it all at once. Look at Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike came out, you had reprints slightly before and slightly after that were announced for ETBs, right? What comes out early March, late February? Nothing. Sure, you can say more Crown Zenith product, so it's entirely possible that they're doing it around Crown Zenith, but what makes more sense? Them doing the print around some Crown Zenith product that's coming out, or around their newest set, Scarlet and Violet, right? So for me, I think that late March, early April makes more sense. I mean, it's entirely possible that per his sources of information, that it should remain the same. But like I said before, I'm still skeptical just based off the history of Pokemon. But I'm going to keep him at his word for it. We'll see what ends up happening. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be that way. And I have another individual who I actually talked to today. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But he was discussing with me, saying that he has connections with the Pokemon Company. And a while ago, it's been a long time, but he said that he had a conversation with them about typically how long it takes them to print a new entire set and the allocation of sheets. He said for a new entire set, not a reprint, a new entire set, it takes about 3 months for that to get printed. So if you're talking about only reprinted booster box product, I mean, you're realistically saying it's only going to take a couple of months for that to happen. Let's say 2 months, right? And so if you're making the argument 2 months is how long it takes realistically, and there's obviously so much that's being allocated with Millennium Print Group. Obviously, they bought Millennium Print Group, but Millennium Print Group still prints Magic and other trading card games. If we're just making the argument, right, and we're saying, all right, you had the newest set come out in February for Brilliant Star. And from there, they started printing the new sets, right? You had allocation for printers, and then for the newest sets, which is going to take 3 months, and we're saying booster box reprints. This is just theoretical. The 3 months been proven. This is theoretical. We'll say because you're not having to print ETBs, build the battles, all that other crap, it's going to take roughly around 2 months to print to demand for booster boxes. I would argue that if you're just doing the math on a timeline basis, that's about a year period, and we're at about that year mark. That means, in theory, they would have printed 6 sets. What sets would that be? Once again, in theory, that would be more than likely Fusion Strike, Evolving Skies, Brilliant Star, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, Silver Tempest. There's an argument to be made, oh, well, what about Crown Zenith ETBs? Well, if they're ready to do that print for Crown Zenith, then that could be something that comes in April. And that would kind of line up with the quote-unquote theoretical timeline. However, this is all speculative. It could end up taking more. Maybe it takes 2.5 months. It could end up taking less. Maybe it's not even coming. But based off of that rationale and just what the history of the Pokemon Company has shown, it makes sense for the timeline to line more up in April, March based off of just math. And him and I were talking about this too, and he thinks his kind of thought process is he thinks it's going to be May when the reprints are coming, is kind of what his expectation is. But using kind of my rationality, he's like, I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense based off of what the Pokemon company's done historically too. So, but obviously we're just taking the information that we know from both distribution, from insiders within the Pokemon company, and just kind of theorizing what this could lead into. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we don't have any hard, firm evidence at this moment in time of, Pokemon company specifically told us, right? It's just rumors, it's just leaks, it's been reports, hasn't been validated. Obviously, you can trust your sources as much as you can, but things are constantly going to be changing. Because I remember Chilling Reign, I was told Chilling Reign back in 2021 was going to have its next wave come out in August, and then I was told it was going to come in September because it got pushed back, and then I got told October, and then finally it came in November. So there's been times where it came, but it took time, right? Like, I don't know if you guys know this, we were supposed to have a Brilliant Star, per some of my sources, reprint going back to October, right? We were supposed to have a Brilliant Star booster box reprint this last October, is what my sources said. However, I didn't say anything about it because it wasn't, from what my source said, 100% firm validated. It was something that he said, yes, there's been rumors going around that there's going to be a Brilliant Star reprint. I'll keep you posted. This was from a distribution connection. And I said, cool, sweet, all right. October came. Oh, it got delayed. And I haven't asked since. So, because as we all know, Pokemon Company loves to delay things. I mean, Chilling Reign Wave 2 was supposed to come out in July. And like I said, it didn't come out until November. So, August, September, October, November. 4-month delay. I mean, where does that set everything else at? There's just so many things, and the only thing that we do know is that we know nothing. Woo! I don't really mess with base sets, so I won't be as much into the beta testing. It's pretty cool. Well, obviously Necro, yeah, we just used base set just because it was the set that only had like 13 hollows. So, but we're gonna make a poll pretty soon here, asking people what set they want us to do, use the bot for. Eli, or Pokemon USA, sorry. Do you think now the Elite Trainer box will be a better pickups because yes, well, yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying for the past 20 minutes. Bro, what is 151? 151 is going to be the commemorative 151 set that is going to come out. We don't know what is going to be in it, but considering the name of it is 151, I would like to theorize that is a set that is going to be an homage to all of the Pokemon in Gen 1. And in my personal opinion as well, 151 being a set that is probably going to center around all character rares and alternate arts and alternate art trainers. Which interestingly enough, this is all hypothetical, but when did we have alternate art trainer cards get introduced? In Crown Zenith. Do you think that it's not a coincidence that we have 151 coming, which potentially is going to be an all alternate art / character rare set, what we are hypothetically making assumptions of? Because if it was, which we don't know, but if it was, that would make sense because the trainers are probably going to get alternate art designs. So, but who knows? That part is hypothetical. We just know we're going to have a set that's going to be coming out June 16th in Japan, and then for us, it's going to be in July. So it's going to have 165 cards before secret rares. Each booster box will come with 20 packs. So 165 before secret rares. But who knows, man? Who knows what that's going to look like? So, but yeah, that's before secret rares. I mean, our character rares are not considered secret rares, right? Those are completely different. If I'm correct. I need that Boston Swords promo, right? 151 definitely has the potential to be one of the best sets, basically ever. I mean, it definitely looks good. But we don't know what. We don't know what that's gonna look like. Hope it's not like Evolutions. I doubt it. I think they know what people want these days. Every new set is the best set ever recently. Hey, they're on a roll. You can't hate on Pokemon for that. That's a good thing. Because if you guys remember XY era, it was crap on crap on crap. I mean, even Sun and Moon for the first half was crap. Like, no one cared about Shining Legends or Burning Shadows. So, like, when you go from, you know, Battle Styles to Chilling Reign to Evolving Skies to Celebrations, then Fusion, then Brilliant, like, it's been a hit. And even the ones that are duds are still way better than the duds from other sets, right? Like, obviously, take Rebel Clash out of the mix. To say Battle Styles or Fusion or Astral are some of the worst sets in the Sword and Shield generation, look at some of the sets in the EX era and, like, let me ask you this. Which would you rather have, a Battle Styles booster box or a Steam Siege or Crimson Invasion? Like, no doubt about it. Unless your name's Tyrone, you are definitely picking Battle Styles over Steam Siege. Like, come on. Is a Case of Lost Origin for 110 per box a decent deal? I mean, compared to the market rate, I would say probably. With Kadabra coming back too, yes, we do have the rights to the Kadabra. What is the product that has the Cyrus Boss's order promo come in? It is it's the milk cartons. Cyrus milk cartons. Have you talked to any distributors about possibly buying out more stagnant product like we did with those fall chests? I have talked to them about that, and we're going to be having a bundle come up pretty soon here. It's going to be at a slightly higher price point than before. However, it's going to include Evolving Skies packs and Brilliant Star packs. So it's going to be well worth it for what you're paying, right? Because before we did the deal where you got Astral, Lost Origin, and Silver Tempest for $2, or Astral Fusion and Silver Tempest for $2.75. This deal, it's probably going to be $3 for the bundle, but considering Evolving Skies is like $7 a pack, and you're paying an average of $3 per pack, which is each is going to include Evolving, you're probably not going to complain. Like, that's just such a good deal, you know? So, but I haven't finalized it. I'm waiting to break down all of the items. So if you're wondering where I'm getting the product from, trainer toolkits, more collector's chests, and Divergent power tins. So, or not Divergent, but hidden potential tins. So, yeah. So hidden potential tins, that's where I'm getting most of the Evo from. That is like $3.20 per. Breaking it down with the collector's chest is like $2.80 per. What's that in the middle amount? $3. That's kind of where I'm looking at it. But I'm trying to find out what the dollar cost average I'm getting when breaking down the trainer toolkits. Because I'm going to be losing money on the trainer toolkits and trying to make it up in the bulk. So I'm trying to find what that number is on what makes the most sense. But I'm thinking $3 is probably it. Note to self. Well, I hate how it does that. Where was I? Oh my gosh, I hate how that happens. Sometimes the messages kind of get out of the mix. Note to self, don't ever fight Pokemon use. So funny. My guy Eli, for long-term storage of sealed product and cards, do you think temperature plays as much of a crucial role in causing damage? I know humidity is the main culprit. I don't think temperature is a big deal. No. I mean, especially too if you're in an area, like, think about it, right? Like, I live in Arizona. I'm not concerned whatsoever about Arizona heat. I'm concerned about if Arizona gets humidity because of monsoon season. Because, like, okay, so it's going to get hot in June, July, August, and then in September. That's 4 months out of the year. And it's not like it's going to be 4 months of intense temperature that's going to, like, destroy the cards. Like, what causes damage? Moisture and then sunlight. Unless I'm putting it out in the sunlight and I'm letting it bake in the sun, it's not going to get any damage if you have it sealed in the original boxes in cases. Like, that's just, like, not going to happen. So, and even then, like, the humidity itself, if you have it in sealed protective, like, plastic boxes or cases, it's a pretty big argument that unless there's, like, a dense amount of humidity, even then it's not going to get damaged. Now, if it's just like I have a booster box just laying out, that's one thing. But if you have it in a container, I'd be less concerned about it, you know? But yeah, that's what I care more about. Just got off work, time to start work. I feel that, Wrath. I store my basement with Daya, but it gets cold. Yeah, cold ain't gonna do crap. It's all moisture, baby. Moisture causes the bend, sunlight causes the fade. Like, that's just kind of it. I have loads of card curls like crazy, keeping them in the cold temperature basically ruined. But card curls from cold temperature, like, are you keeping the product not stored properly? Because, like, I remember I kept the old product back in Oregon in a non-insulated area, and it would get really cold in the garage, like really, really cold. Like, I'm talking 0 degrees, 5 degrees, 10 degrees. And to be fair, it was all in sealed boxes, but I never had a single problem with curls of any sort. And it's not humid at all. It's a dry heat. It's a dry cold. So I never had any issue personally. Nor did I ever get any complaints from anyone that's ever purchased from me. And I've sold a ton, you know. Granted, the winter didn't last that long, but I mean, 4 months out of the year, you would still assume that if it were to be an issue, it would, like, you know what I mean? I think you're paying for the spec. Exactly. No, 100% ClawTuber. Oh, you mentioned price on booster box and ETBs. Is that including tax? So a case fee? No tax. There is absolutely no tax. So how the fee structure... So when I say fees, I mean distribution has its own shipping and handling fees. So, like, for example, for one of our distributors, it's going to cost you... it's free shipping over $750. They're going to charge a general flat rate of 2% on the product that you purchase, and then it's like a $17.50 handling fee, right? So if you, for example, are buying $1,000 worth of product, it's going to add about another $37, right? Just from distro. That's just kind of how it is, which that's about 3.7% if you're spending only $1,000. So, but that's just how distro is. So distro is going to charge that to me. I'm going to charge it to you guys. So that's just the game that distro plays. But like I said before, like, it's very minimal, very, very minimal. And each distributor has their own kind of different structure. Some of them charge fees, some of them don't. Some of them charge handling, some of them don't. Some of them charge shipping, some of them don't. Each distributor has their own different structure and how they do things. You just have to calculate what works best for you for how much you're spending. One of my favorite things I like to do, though, is I like to order a bunch of product and then just cut out the distributor and basically just break down whatever product I can and say, hey guys, I'm going to just give you a flat rate. This is what I'm going to charge you. And then I'm going to just have you pay for shipping. It just is, for me, it makes it the easiest. So, like, for example, building battles, right? I did deals where I offered packs at like $2.65 back when the program first started. And I said, hey guys, I'm going to sell you Silver Tempest packs for $2.65, free shipped. I technically myself was buying them for $2.75 plus fees plus shipping, but I had to calculate it out, which every building battle that I sold, I got promos, I got bulk. I knew that I was going to be losing on the front end, but I was going to make it up on the back end. And so that way it allowed me to offer a better deal for you guys. So that's what I would say, the ones that sell it the fastest, because that way you're not having to calculate in fees or shipping. All you have to calculate is what's the price and how much does it cost to ship to me. Usually 8, 10, 20 bucks, depending upon how much you buy. Okay, easy, done deal. Spend $1,000, $10 to ship, no problem whatsoever. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm always doing whatever I can to fight for you guys, to get you guys the best product at the cheapest price. That's just kind of the way in which the program works. I've shown the picture before. If you guys want me to, I can show it again. But a while ago, when I was doing the collector's chest breakdown deal, I spent 100 hours was the total work week in which I went through and I broke down almost 1,000 collector's chests just to get the pack so that I could sell it to the people in the program for as cheap as I possibly could, because it's way cheaper to just break down and sell the packs off than it is to sell in the collector's chest themselves, if that makes sense. So whatever that looks like, what I can do to offer a good deal, and whatever it takes is what I'm going to do. So let's open the image. Yep, if you guys remember this, this is what my living room looked like. So yeah. So this is what it looked like. Pretty snazzy, right? Pretty snazzy. So that is all of the collector's chest. That is the amount of crap. That is the packs and the promos and yeah, more collector's chests. So woo! I hated my life. I worked my first ever 20-hour workday, so that was fun. But yeah, I'm doing whatever I can to to make it work for you guys. I'm here for you all. That's all I can say. That's all you have to know is I'm here for your guys' best interest, because that's it. I mean, when it comes to this program and what comes to my philosophy, it's what can I do to bring value to the Pokemon company and the Pokemon community. Sorry, not the Pokemon company, the Pokemon community and my own, you know? And that's just kind of my business model mentality. And so I'm going to do whatever it takes, even if I hate my life for it. Yeah, and if they're curled, they're not ruined either, too. You can send a card in curled, and it'll still come back at 10. Pokemon, or PSA doesn't care. I think PC ETBs are always a safe bet for sealed collection. Nope, I agree. I mean, they're still going to have value. That's why I said you're still going to buy it. But why are you flattening them out, though? You shouldn't be flattening it out, Midir. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No one cares about flattening it out. Eli, does the Charizard UPC get back to MSRP? And if so, when? I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you when. But yes, it'll get back to MSRP, and it's probably going to go back at some point to $200-300. I mean, it's a great value. Got overprint in the ground. It's deflationary. It'll get up in value once more people open up more of it. If the card is still in if it's a Pringle, it's not MP at all. Yeah, exactly. It's still near mint. I've got cards that were bent, and I sent them in. They got 9s and 10s, so trust me. Hey, appreciate that, Tom. So if I live in Germany, it's not worth to buy it for you because of shipping or taxes, or which price is worth it at? Minimum 500, 750 to 1,000 is where you're getting the most value, and then anything above that, you're getting good value. Because, like, think about it, right? If you're buying, it really comes down to, let me put it for you this way. And here's this is very important for those of you guys that don't live in the US to understand. And if you live in the US, it's still important to understand, but it's even more important for you guys outside the US. If you buy product that is worth a little but weighs a lot, you're going to get a lot less value out of it, right? So if you're ordering pack deals from me, if you're ordering booster boxes from me, sleeve blisters from me, booster bundles from me, it's going to be a good deal. ETBs will be fine, but not nearly as good because it's going to cost a lot still for you. And if you're buying heavily dense items, like with the example I gave, 17 pounds for a box that costs you $16, that's about the same weight as a Elite Trainer box case. So that's going to hurt you. Weight is going to hurt you the most when shipping overseas because we use UPS. So it really has less to do with how much you spend. I just gave that as a general quote, and how much you spend per pound if you're talking about outside the US. So for example, just to kind of give a little bit of a reference, booster box on average is going to weigh about 1.6 pounds. You're getting about 36 packs. So if you're saying to yourself, it's going to cost you like $130 ship if you are living, let's say, somewhere in Canada or the UK. I can't remember specifically, but let's say 30 divided by 1.6, right? That's about 18. That's about 3 cases. So if you're saying 3 cases gonna cost you 130, 140, and you're paying 573 plus 130, 140, divide that by 3. We'll say $40 to be safe. You're paying about $102 a booster box instead of that $95 price point. So maybe even 105, 110. But I mean, that's even a good deal in the US. Obviously, that's not including taxes or any sort of connection fees, but like that's just the general rate to try and ship it to you if you're trying to buy a case's worth, you know? So, but that's for booster boxes, right? Take that into consideration. All right. Do you double box your shipments or slap the shipping label on the case? Just depends on how distro does it. Basically, I slap on a label however distro does it. So if distro sends to me double boxed, I slap a label, send it to you double boxed. If they ship it to me single boxed, I slap on a label and ship it to you single box. Just as simple as that. I I can't purposely go in and double box everything because one, it's going to cost way more for you guys to ship, and then two, I don't have time for that. Especially considering how many boxes and packages they ship out. And as far as it goes, from single box to double box, I have yet to have a single complaint whatsoever, whether it's been single box versus double box in the program. That's a bit of a load on ETB cases. Yep. If we get on the Patreon, is Scarlet and Violet pre-order still open? Nope. That is not open. 151 will probably be open relatively soon here, though, after Scarlet and Violet. How do you sell loose packs? I have some from damaged boxes I open as thinking just about eBay. Well, I'm selling it at wholesale, so that's why it's really easy for me to sell it, because I'm selling it at cost. So I don't recommend that for what I'm doing, unless you're doing what I'm doing. So much product has been printed in the last couple of years. Do you think the Pokemon company is trying to keep print runs lower? I thought it was an issue back in 2018 as well. Could be wrong. No, not at all. Pokemon company prints to demand. They're going to print to demand. Just simple as that. Fine, guys. I'll start reprinting sets. Tyrone, my man, coming to the rescue. Better be reprinting sets. Longer reprints take more time to save up. That's a good way to look at it. Quick question. I don't know what happened to the question from the last time, but do you have a discount for Game Nerds? I do not have a discount for Game Nerds because the only thing I said was if you bought a case's worth, you got the booster box for 105 instead of 110, but that is no longer available. Fun question. Do you think top 3 sets from Sun and Moon are better than top 3 sets from Sword and Shield? Ooh, that is a fun set. I'm going to say no, though. Although, for me personally, in my heart, I'm a huge fan of Cosmic. I'm a huge fan of Hidden Fates. And I'm a huge fan of... Ooh, what would be the next best set? Probably like Team Up, right? Team Up, Unified Minds, Unbroken Bonds, one of those. It's hard to beat Crown Zenith, Evolving, and Celebrations, because guess what the Sword and Shield era has that the Sun and Moon era doesn't have? A 25th anniversary set or an anniversary set. So victim of its time once again. So plus alternate arts, way cooler. People love alternate arts. But yeah, that's what makes it kind of hard, because you say to yourself, Crown Zenith, you compare it to Hidden Fates. Cosmic Eclipse, you compare it to Evolving Skies, and then probably Celebrations you compare to like Unified or Unbroken or something like that, right? There's just so much more cool, innovative product coming from the new sets of Sword and Shield that obviously at the time was cool and innovative for Sun and Moon, and those sets are amazing, but like the top two being Cosmic and Hidden, which are amazing. Whatever that third set is not going to come close to those next two. Like Unified's great, but Unified doesn't have a character rare set, right? So you kind of get the best of everything with the top 3 I mentioned, because you get a Celebrations set of an anniversary set, you get a character rare, an alternate art set, and I mean there's just so much more to love. You know, that's what makes it kind of hard. Even though Sword and Shield's amazing era, arguably one of the best eras ever. But Sword and Shield is doing good. Sword and Shield is doing real good. Quick question. I don't know what. Already answered that question. How high will Evolving Skies booster boxes get? I mean, it depends. If we don't get a reprint, they're just gonna keep going up forever until they hit their flat line point. Whether that be $400, $450, $500. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah. Do you think Pokemon Go sealed product will start rising more than people think? Yes. Pokemon Go ETBs in particular are one of my #1 sleeper products. I don't want to get into why, because I've said it 1,000 times as to why, but just go watch some of my older videos talking about Pokemon Go. Finally invested in a nice thermal printer and the thing kicks ass. Love to hear that, baby. It's definitely worth it. How much can I order from a patron in the new level? I'm like 10k a year, 50k a year, thanks. There is no limit to how much you can order. You can order as much as I have. That's basically as good as it gets, Devin. If I have the product, you can buy it. If I don't have the product, you can't buy it. Simple as that, right? So like if you're expecting to come to the program and you're like, I'm going to buy 20 cases of Evolving Skies ETBs or booster boxes. I don't have that. I've got a lot of other great deals and opportunities for you to get, but don't expect it to be all Evolving Skies and Brilliant Star. It happens from time to time, but we're not there yet. Basic thought, though, is it looks like most of the distro fees are nil if you order a couple cases or 75 plus. Exactly. That's exactly the best way to look at it, Necro. I've sent cards to PSA with our 8s and still got 10s. Bro, I have a card in particular that's got a nasty print line, and it thought, I literally sent it in like, yeah, this is probably going to get a 9. I'll just send it in. Got a 10, and I was like, what? When will we be opening up the program again? I already said this, but I'll say it one more time, I guess. Don't have an exact date, probably a couple of weeks is the expectation. Whether that be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're just waiting to kind of finite some things out before we open it back up. Poke Department Store is late. What the heck, man? Man's got a new job, and now all of a sudden he doesn't have time for us? Rude. No, I'm just kidding. What do you plan to do with those empty chests? Donate them. At one point I wanted to get rid of them, but my fiance and one of my buddies detested, saying that, no, don't get rid of them. Donate them to a local school. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to donate them to a school for kids that want lunch boxes. Eli doesn't pay taxes. Got him. Hey, I wish that were true, man. I freaking paid so much in taxes last year. It's the most I've paid in taxes my entire life, and it was so frustrating. And it's probably not a lot when you really think about it, but it felt like a lot. $5,000 in taxes hurt. Some people are like, oh, that's nothing. But it hurt for how much I made. What's up, Mikkel? Finally caught the live. Good to see you here, brother. So we're probably going to wrap it up now because Christensen's here. No, I'm just kidding. Is 151 a special or set subset? It's a special subset. Do you think 25th Charizard will be... Actually, I don't know. I'm going to assume so. That it's probably a special set. A special subset, but I honestly have no clue. I couldn't tell you. Do you think the 25th Charizard will be the last base set Charizard art print? No, of course not. Pokemon Company is always going to reprint it. I'd be surprised if they didn't do it for 151. Just go buy a wagon, write it all off, shake my head, money moves. You know what? You just buy things and just write it off. Business expense here, business expense there, right? Easy, easy, baby. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's so funny. I don't think they'll ever stop making yeah, exactly. I don't think they're ever going to stop making remakes of base set Charizard. I'd be stunned. Talk to your CPA, set up an IRA or 401k. You're making mistakes if you're paying taxes at your level. Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, well, I didn't pay any taxes on the business, Devin. I paid taxes on a driving gig where I was making a stupid amount of money. Basically, I was doing transportation during the pandemic, medical transportation for emergency medical personnel. And I was making $150 an hour. So, granted, it was only 2 hours a day of work, but it was good money. It was stupid money. So, hard not to pay taxes when you're making that much. Couldn't really write a lot of things off because there wasn't a lot to write off, even as a contractor. Like, okay, I can write off my mileage and my depreciation on my car. Now, what I was informed is that apparently I could have written off more things for the business and it could have applied into the driving gig, but I didn't really have much more to write off at that point, you know? Yo, Eli, I found Pikachu V-Box at Walmart for $20 with 2 evolving and 2 brilliant stars. Wow! Oh my gosh, dude. Talk about a deal. That's insane. Get a better CPA, Devin says. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess I could look into a better CPA, but I think I think for what I did, she did a pretty good job. But who knows? Maybe I don't know. I mean, last year was the first year I paid taxes in the past, like, 2 or 3 years of running the business. Like, and I didn't even pay taxes on the business. I paid taxes on a side job that I made a ton of money in. So, I mean, prior to that, I made like $400. This is all I do. Trust me. Well, if you got a referral and they're not going to cost an arm and a leg, but they're going to save me an arm and a leg, then sure. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of it. I mean, we got some tax people in the building. Pokemon Department Store. See, my problem with Pokemon Department Store is I'm afraid he's going to lose my tax paper and then I'm going to be really screwed. No, I'm just kidding. He's like, I'm here. Hello, let me save you taxes. I mean, John, you can answer that question. Can I, as a sole proprietor, write off business expenses that can transfer into my 1099 as a contractor? Because it's technically they're both self-employed. You tell me. You tell me. Love your channel. I joined the Discord. You have got a lot of good information. I'm glad your business is doing well. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, it's a grind, man. I mean, my business is doing well. I just now was able to go full-time the past couple of months. And so this is what I do for a living. But it's not like I'm working like 4 to 8 hours a day. It's like I'm working 8 hours is like kind of a slow day for me. It's usually like 12 to 16. 150 an hour, Eli, what is this side hustle? I'm not showing you the knowledge. I told you, man, it was COVID relief pay. So basically how it worked is they paid me $300 a day flat for me to transport nurses to and from the hospital to their on-site. And I also did the same for other medical personnel like paramedics. And I got paid $300 a day, and I would basically have to drive an hour in the morning and an hour at night. And that's how it worked. Pretty set. Do you think the new silver borders will affect the future appreciation of the past yellow borders sets for the last 20 years? I think it's entirely possible that'll happen, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time. I need to make sure I really get my taxes done right this year. It's definitely important. You could write it off on the plane ticket. Well, yeah, of course I wrote off the plane ticket. Nurses are hot. I don't know what nurses you're working with, buddy. They definitely are not. I mean, maybe, like, not to be mean, like, man, I feel like I'm going to get canceled if I say what I'm about to say. There's just a lot of ghetto-looking nurses, we'll just say that. And a lot that, like, in the wise words of Michael Scott, could your friend fit in a rowboat? That's all I'm going to say. Don't cancel me. Cancel Michael. Keep up the good work. Gotta run. Talk later. Hey, appreciate you as always, Arthur. Is there a way we can get a price list for other product for Pokemon wholesale program, or is it too much work? I know Distro 2 is not ideal, but they have some nice weekly deals. Well, I mean, in terms of a price list, I have some people that ask me questions for Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic stuff, and basically if you just, literally what I tell people is just, if you just send me a name of the product specifically that I can just search in my distro's search bar, then I'll look it up for you. Nursing school is no joke, at least we know they put in the work, right, John? I'd have to look into that before I give tax advice, but I lean towards not being able to offset since they're separate operations. You might be able to offset the personal income level. And that's exactly what my accountant told me. That's exactly what my accountant told me. So, yeah. But I am going to be getting a K-12, I think is what it's called this year. I don't know. I'm not a tax specialist. But yeah, no, I'm going to be basically, since we open an LLC with E4, I'll be able to use that to write off some personal income. Should I buy more Crown Zenith? I don't know. It depends. What price are you getting at? $50 or cheaper. Yeah, sure. What's up? What's up, John Fellers? How many packs are in a booster box display? 36 packs in a booster box. And we end on that. Yeah, right. Kwong says, notice me, senpai. What's up, dude? A K1, thank you. I said a K12, a K1. Yeah, I'm not a tax specialist. Devin, are you a tax specialist, or do you just know a lot about it? Why are you a sole proprietor? There you go. LLC better. Well, I'm both. So I started a sole proprietor when I started Pokemon USA, and then I started an LLC when I started the second business, E4. There you go, LLC better. But I don't know. I haven't considered doing... Well, I've considered doing an LLC for Pokemon USA. I'm just so consumed all the time. I'm like, is someone really going to sue me? Like, I don't know. I guess I should transfer from a sole proprietor to an LLC now that I'm finally getting bigger. You know, when I was smaller, I didn't really think about it as that big of a deal. But yeah, Patreon tiers closed, Pokemon Fun. We'll be getting 25 more spots pretty soon here. S-Corp? Why an S-Corp? Sleeve booster display. Oh, it's well, a case of the sleeve booster display is 144 packs. Sole proprietor and people sue you. Fair enough. We do live in America. You can sue for just about anything. I mean, like I said, I'll look into an LLC, but I definitely am like, I just now started to like really blow up as a channel, so I haven't done it. Thanks for answering everything. You're the man, bro. No problem. Thank you for stopping by and asking questions, John. But yeah, if it's 61 bucks, you're probably saying to yourself, then it's probably like a fifth of the packs, because a true case is $380 or $360 or something like that, or $340. Gosh dang it, man. I don't know. It depends on distributors. It's hard to say. It's all over the place. It is all over the place. Thanks for answering. Or answer that. Nah, Eli doesn't want to be an S corp. He's going to have more than 100 shareholders. I don't need shareholders, man. All right, have a good one. Are you heading out, Devin? LLC tax as S corp. I don't know, man. You're getting into a realm of questions I don't know. All I know is that I have tax specialists who do tax things for me. I know a little bit of what they tell me. And for that reason, I know that I can write things off to save money. And that's what I do, is I hire a specialist that does that for me. I hire a bookkeeper that finds the things I need to write off, and so on and so forth. Will there be a 3.0 version of the mystery packs? Probably, Benny. Probably be a 3.0. That is definitely something that I would like to look into. I would like to bring back the mystery packs. I just have to come up. What's the 3.0 main pack poll going to be? You know what I mean? What is the main poll that you're going to get? Got to spice it up a little bit. Later, tell your tax people you want to pay $0 and what you have to do to make it happen. Well, it's only realistic for so many people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into the witching hour here. I'm surprised I went this long considering my voice, but hey, we're here. My voice is managing. So basically, if you have any final questions for the last 5 minutes, then let us begin. But if you don't have any questions, forever hold your peace and we'll just end it early. No questions? Man, we just went on an absolute roll. Finally got caught up. Oh, here we go. Your thoughts on rare Japanese promos, currently looking at deals. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'm not an expert when it comes to a lot of Japanese product and promos. I'm going to refrain from answering that question just because I feel like I can't give you my best opinion on it. Did Mike Hunt ever reach out to you on the Discord regarding the order from Distro? Mike Hunt? I don't know which one you're referencing. Mike Hunt. Who's Mike Hunt? Do you think the collector's box for CZ is a good... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I fell for that. I can't believe I fell for that. That's so stupid. I would have never... Well, it's funny because I had made an announcement a week ago calling out 2 specific people because they were not responding at all in the Discords, and I needed confirmation for everyone's shipping information, and there was 2 people, and I deleted the post and I can't remember the 2 names of the individuals, and so I was like, Mike Hunt, and I was like, I was like, is that who he's referencing? And then I just realized it now. Oh my god, I got played so hard. Oh, got him. Had to do it, baby. Had to do it. So stupid, but so funny. Well, I'm glad you got enjoyment out of it. All right, I'm going to ban you for that. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that was funny. That was a good one. Hey, no one's done that to me before. No one's done that kind of funny stuff. That's good. That's good. So stupid. Oh, yeah, no worries, bro. Thanks for the laughs indeed. Do you know when set pre-orders will be available for April, May for the 151 set? So pre-orders for Scarlet and Violet were available sometime at January 25th was the deadline, if I'm correct. 24th, I think. So that was about a couple weeks ago. Let me see. So about 2 months to 2.5 months before the set release. So if the set comes out in July, you'll probably say sometime in May, I would say. Someone got Pokeball with huge anus. How do you fall for that one? That one is so. See the Mike Hunt. That one, like I had to. That one seems like a real name, right? But huge anus, like that doesn't sound like a real name. First I think gotta watch out now. Seriously. Oh my god, how do you get that one? What about my collection box question? Sorry, what was your question? I fell behind. Do you think the collection boxes for CZ is a good pickup right now for $100 for both? Oh, I don't know. That feels pretty overpriced. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can get them for $45. But I don't know. I mean, isn't 50 MSRP or what's the MSRP for it? I hope you have a good day as well. What is the MSRP for the... Actually, I don't know. Let me look it up before I say anything. Crown Zenith Special Collection. Let's take a look. So, I assume you're referencing the Zacian Zamazenta. GameStop is selling it for $70, which means it's probably $60. So actually, no, that is a pretty good deal. Yeah, I would say that's a good deal. Yeah, because if I go to Game Nerd, they're selling it for 108. So if Game Nerd's selling it for 108, you're getting it for 100. Yep, I'm going to say a good deal. That's a good deal. I thought the stream was over because it wasn't showing up on my end. Oh, gosh dang. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up. But I want to thank you guys all once again so much for stopping by. Really appreciate the channel and the laughs. Don't forget, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to enter into our weekly giveaways. But that is all for today.